Hey everybody, welcome into Jersey Chasers. I don't know why I want to be musical this week.
You want to sing? We can do musical today.
Yes,
Nobody wants to hear me.
welcome. Yeah, nobody wants to hear us.
I've got that raspy talking voice. I don't have that good raspy singing voice. Nobody wants to hear me sing.
I can carry a tune. I can carry a little tune. But yeah, welcome into Jersey Chasers, everyone. You are watching us here on the Inside Edge Network. As you guys know, the boys have been covering the biggest story of the day in Cleveland sports. Chris, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yes, I would love to talk about this.
We got some breaking news, everyone. The Browns have finally hired a head coach. They hired Todd Monken as head coach. He was the Browns offensive coordinator during the 2019 season. He also was the Georgia offensive coordinator during their first two national championship runs between 2020. Was it 2021? Yeah, 2021 and 2022. And then he went over to the Ravens and he was there from 2023 to this past season in 2025. He's also a first-time head coach. He was a head coach in college at Southern Miss. It didn't have a great record, but he is now the Browns head coach. Christy, what do you think about the hire?
I'm excited. Okay. Like a lot of people, they didn't realize the resume that this guy does carry with him. And yeah, he's turning 60 soon. So what? That just means that he has years of experience. I love the fact that he took Georgia and beat Alabama for the national championship his first year as an offensive coordinator there, because at the time Alabama they were unbeatable. You know, everybody was sick of seeing Alabama in the national championship, just like everybody was sick of seeing the Patriots in the Super Bowl. But yet here we are again. Anyway, and he brings along an offensive line coach from the Ravens. So I'm super excited about this. The one thing that we've needed to work on is our offensive line. Like that is our Achilles heel. We have one of the best offensive line coaches now from one of the best offensive lines with the Ravens. Like you take our squad last year on the offensive side and the Ravens offensive side, they were 1,000 times better. This is a huge upgrade. And Sir Yacht is in there, you know, like ready to blow his brains out because he thinks, oh, woe is us. We're awful, you know, dumpster fire down there in the lake. No, this is a great thing, people. You need to open your eyes and just give it some time, give it some patience. Autumn, why are you looking at me like that? What you feeling about this?
I feel fine about it. I'm agreeing with you. I actually think that it is probably the best thing for the offense right now, especially who his quarterback was. Think about who his quarterbacks were in college and now, right now. He had the last year Baker, pretty much. He had who was Georgia's quarterback during that the national championship run? Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. He had Georgia's quarterback. He had the entire Georgia offense. Think about the entire Georgia offense. That's just nuts. Offense, off the field stuff aside, that team was elite. And then you have Lamar Jackson. It's not like he coached Lamar Jackson and Lamar was a scrub. Lamar won an MVP under him. He won an MVP and should have probably won another one last year. So it's this weird thing that Browns fans have. And they did this with Stefanski too. They do this with every head coach. It's like, oh, but we wanted the big sexy hire. You're never going to get the big sexy hire here. That's never going to happen. It's too much of a reputation thing here. You're never going to get who you want. You got a guy who has shown that he can coach your offense. He can show that he can coach multiple quarterbacks. That's what you need. And like you said, he's bringing over an offensive line coach. That's the biggest
Mhm.
thing you really need, because if your offensive line was healthy, you probably would have won a couple more games and probably could have been in the playoffs. I don't know. I just don't like this whole thing that Browns fan is like,
Yeah,
"Oh, he's 60. Who cares?" Great. He's 60. I know some older coaches,
right?
some other teams that got coaches in their
Mhm.
70s. Who cares? He has a resume that's pretty good. It's not like he's just coming in. It's not like he's a Freddie Kitchens type. Freddie Kitchens had a decent resume, but he didn't really prove anything. It's not a Rob Chadinsky. It's not any of those guys. It's a guy who can win and can guide a damn good offense. I don't know. I'm just frustrated
Well, and
with
then,
Brown
we
fans.
have to reiterate how when he was with us before, everybody's bringing up the fact that he talked shit about our coaching and the way it was going on in the locker room, how Freddie Kitchens would totally change his mind from what they were talking about the plan was going to be to what the plan actually ended up being on Sunday. So, in a way, Kitchens was pretty much setting the place on fire, maybe because he knew he wasn't going to be there the following year. I don't know. It was stupid. He was sabotaging himself and the team. So, for a coach to recognize that and to not be afraid to voice his opinion about that, and now he's come back after that, I think that's a great thing. That tells me that he sees the problem is gone that was there before. And like you said, he was Lamar's coach for how many seasons? Lamar is one of the greatest running quarterbacks in the NFL ever. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. And this guy has gotten Lamar to where he is. I'm a happy camper. I hate the fact that it cost us Schwartz. That is one casualty that I'll say I was really not cool with. I would have thought that Schwartz would respect that he would have an older coach, not just some kid. Like, I mean, I don't see him being a coach with Daniel as his head coach, you know? So
I
I'm
just
I'm
my thing
really confused about
is
that. I guess he really thought he was going to be the head coach, which it sucks. And like,
why? Jim Shorts, while he is a talented defensive mind, the
yeah,
last time he was head
why
coach
the
of any
tantrum?
team, they went 0-16. Why do you care? My thing is, if you see them hiring a damn good offensive coach, you're a damn good defensive coach. Come together, tuck your ego, and go out and win. You didn't stay here for all these years for nothing. I'm
Hey,
just, I'm,
get them a Super
I'm just,
Bowl. Combine those superpowers. Superpowers unite. Well,
I
we
just,
are talking about men here and their egos. So,
yeah.
sorry.
Let's get into some let's get into it. Let's get into some NFL news. There's so much. So like we mentioned, Tom Monkenon is the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns. It was announced today. Jim Schwartz announced that he was leaving after he of course didn't get the head coaching job, but 8 of the 10 have been filled. So Joe Brady was the offensive coordinator. He's been promoted to the head coach of the Bills. Robert Saleh is the Titans head coach. Mike McCarthy was announced as the Steelers head coach. Crazy. I don't understand that. That's nuts. That's insane. John Harbaugh is the Giants' new head
Yeah.
coach. Jeff Hafley is the Dolphins' new head coach. Kevin Stefanski goes to the Falcons, and that leaves the Raiders and the Cardinals with the last two openings, and they had two of the worst records. So whoever they bring in have to like work with a lot. So out of
You
all
think
those head
one of them
coaches
will
I
take
named,
Schwartz?
of course, out of all those head coaches I named, who do you think is going to have the best first year? Like whose team is already kind of ready made and they just needed a better coach?
I'm hoping it's us. I'm hoping it's us. because of course, always fingers crossed. I always, I really think that we're going to get our offensive line worked on. We're going to get a wide receiver, and Judkins is going to be healthy, and Shador is going to start for us. And this is, I got a gut feeling. I really do. So, besides that, I think good old Johnny boy over with the Giants is going to have a blast with my boy Jackson Dart. So, I think that they will also have a really good season.
Who do you think is going to be a one and done? Because we have a lot of those.
Stefanski.
You think, okay, okay.
I think it's gonna be Stefanski. I mean, and the man's got a pretty face. You gotta
He
admit,
does.
and
He is gorgeous.
you know,
He's beautiful.
he is. He's yes. I mean, like he is chef's kiss. He should have been a model or like an actor, like George Clooney. But I think that I think Kevin Stefanski is gonna be the one and done in Atlanta. And didn't he take Tommy Reese with him?
Yeah, we talked about that last week. He did take Tommy Reese. I think the person who
Yeah,
has like the
they're
best
one and done.
chance to like plot themselves, if I would have said after before all the stuff has come out, I would have said Joe Brady. Raul, man, come on. Come on, Raul. You cannot do this to me today. I would have said Joe Brady, but
I love it. That's why I had to put it up there.
the Bills are a dumpster fire. We're gonna talk about them in a minute. But I think the one that is kind of like ready and set, like can just kind of go in there and probably win a few games, is John Harbaugh. I actually think Jeff Halfley might be the one and done because Miami does not need defense; they need offense. I don't know why they would bring in a
Yeah.
defensive coordinator as a head coach, but oh well. Do you think the Steelers are going to have their first losing season in 20 years?
Yeah.
Why would you
That's the most
hire
comical
Mike
hire out of
McCarthy?
all of them, I think. Yeah, like
Like you
he
saw
it's
what he
definitely
there's just so much. You saw what he did in Green Bay. And then you saw him go to Dallas and do the exact same thing.
yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
picked a man that's been to the Super
No.
Bowl one time and only really won the Super Bowl because of some injuries and because some things that happened to the Steelers, and the Steelers were right there. Mm,
Well, now
mm.
he's right there with them.
I just terrible, terrible.
Uh,
Let's get to a playoff preview. We got to talk about this. We got to talk about this, Christy. We are all set with the NFL
yeah,
Super Bowl, and we kind of predicted it. The Patriots versus the Seahawks. The Patriots beat the Broncos 10 to
yep.
7, and the Seahawks squeak out a win 31 to 27 against the Rams. How did you feel about the Patriots? Like what's 10 to 7
Well,
against Jeff Stidham? Jeff Stidham.
yeah, I know. That was pretty pathetic. I mean, like, yeah, Stidham, who, like, thank goodness for defense, I guess, you know. Yeah, I already put that up. I was shaking my head no. And we don't want Will Howard being anything like Ben. But anyway, yeah, I thought that game should have been a lot more one-sided. But
Hmm.
then again, any given Sunday, and I guess that goes for any given quarterback, even backups, and the conditions for them to be playing in weren't favorable for anyone. you know, so
Yeah.
didn't surprise me that it was a very low scoring game.
Yeah, that one kind of like when I saw it was 7 to nothing Broncos, I'm like, what are we doing here? I was like, you're a better team. Patriots are a much better team, but It doesn't surprise me that the evil empire gets back to the Super Bowl. The Seahawks. Who would have thunk out of the
Well,
2018
wait, hold
quarterbacks?
on. Well, wait. Let's go back because I want to touch on Mike Vrabel. You
Look,
know,
I like
I
Mike
mean,
Vrabel,
like
but he's head of the evil
he,
empire now.
but he's a Buckeye, and you know what? When he was with the Titans, I thought that he was going to actually do better than what he did. And then I was excited for him to come to Cleveland. And that stint was stupid because he ended up not doing anything but running around on the field with the guys during practice. So I'm excited that he's getting to use his knowledge. And it's taken them to the Super Bowl his very first season. So that's a great accomplishment for him, even though it is for the Patriots. Now, right before I interrupted you, you were talking about out of the 2018 draft. And I know that the Browns took Baker Mayfield, but guess who wanted Mr. Sam Darnold?
You did.
Yeah, that was me. I
That
think I
that draft
posted on Facebook about it. Mhm.
that draft will go down as
Yeah.
one of the most interesting drafts because you had a guy in Baker who was very clearly like the underdog, the sneaky type, and he's very clearly one of the most talented quarterbacks in that class. And because he just kinda got a raw deal here towards the end, it kinda tainted it for a little bit, but he's kinda gained that momentum back that he had very early in his career. You have Sam Darnold kinda doing okay in New York, not really living up to the potential, kinda bouncing around. Last year, everybody kinda thought it was a fluke with, him and the Vikings, but he kinda showed you this year, it ain't really a fluke. Josh Allen, of course, being where he's at, winning MVPs. And then, of course, you have Lamar Jackson winning MVPs as well. So that 2018 class might go down as one of the best draft class quarterback wise, which is crazy to say because I remember
Oh, heck yeah.
that a lot of people were not that like high up. And Josh Rosen, I still feel bad for him. He got the rawest end of the deal in that class. The rawest
Yeah, who
end of the deal.
I mean, I forgot that name totally until just now.
Yeah, he's not even in
Oh,
the league
man.
anymore. I think he's trying to get his MBA. Um,
Oh,
but yeah, so like again, a
good
draft
for him.
class with Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. And one of them is now in the Super Bowl. I think he's the first one out of that class to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's the first one. So that's
Oh, no, because
insane.
Lamar
But
was there. No,
Lamar was in the Super Bowl.
Lamar was there.
When were the Ravens in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. He was backup for Joe. Huh. What? Girlfriend, Joe Flacco was the MVP of the Super Bowl. Lamar was his
Not in
backup.
my. I'm pretty sure the Lamar wasn't his
Hold on.
backup because I'm pretty sure the Ravens won the Super Bowl when I was in high school, and me and Lamar Jackson are around the same age. I'm like, huh?
Oh, it's 2013. What?
Yeah,
Who am I thinking
that's
of?
what
That was
I
when was he
said.
back up to Joe then?
He was back up to Joe his first year.
What am I thinking?
I don't know what you're thinking of.
Okay.
Are you thinking of Joe
My bad.
Burrow?
I gotta lay off.
You gotta lay off the weed.
Well, I know he went to the Super Bowl, but he wasn't in the 2018. I
Yeah,
can't help
no. So
it.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
I got a
Sam
short-term
Darnold
memory
is
loss, but I obviously know yeah, okay, so my bad. Yep. Okay.
no, you're good. Sam Darnold is the first, yeah,
Yep.
from that draft class to hit the Super Bowl, which is crazy. Again, we all thought it was going to be at least. Sorry, I dropped my pen. Hold on. Oh God. Um, we all definitely thought it was going to be Josh Allen and his year. Can we talk about the Bills and the dumpster fire of the franchise
Nate's
that they
pretty
are?
funny. Oh, yeah.
Because
But I mean, like, the thing with me is when the Browns took Baker, I was like, no, he's too much like Johnny Manziel because he was the little bad boy. He wasn't doing the on the sidelines, he was grabbing his crotch and stuff. But like, I was like, we've been there, done that. Like, we don't know. I did not want him. So I actually wanted Sam Darnold. And so I'm excited for him and the Seahawks to go. I'm going to be cheering for them, of course,
Mhm.
because nobody likes the Patriots.
Absolutely. Who wants to cheer for the Patriots? Not me. Like I said, the evil empire.
But I'm sorry,
So
right?
no, you're good. No, you're good.
And I
I can't.
realize I can keep cutting you off. It's my
It's
sorry.
it's okay.
StreamYard
It's okay.
sucks. Okay, go ahead.
It's okay. No, yeah. So the Super Bowl LIX licks is set for
Yeah.
February 8th, birthday week, my birthday week.
Mhm.
But no, yeah, let's talk about the Bills and their incompetence. So the Bills, of course, fired Sean McDermott after their divisional round loss to to the Broncos, in which Josh Allen threw 4 picks, right? So reports have come out about that day and about why Sean McDermott has gotten fired. And according to reports, Sean McDermott walked in the locker room and went and confronted Josh Allen. Josh Allen apparently was crying. He was emotional because he thought it was his fault. It 100%
Oh,
was his fault because, again, if you throw 4 picks in a game, it's kind of your fault. Um, and the owner
yeah, it's your fault.
got mad that Brent that Sean McDermott confronted Josh Allen instead of him. Instead of comforting the owner, he comforted his quarterback, which is like, like what? So that caused him to get
Yeah,
fired. Then their GM, what is his name? Brandon Bean? Yeah, Brandon Bean comes out in a press
Brandon
conference,
Bean.
says a whole lot of nothing, and then blames the entire season's failures on Keon Coleman. And then says, we didn't really want to take Keon Coleman. We were forced to. And then people were like, no, I'm pretty sure in this documentary, you were like, I love Keon Coleman. I loved his interview. I loved everything about him. And you damn sure used him for his clickbait quotes when you first got him. So now people are really like, I've
Yeah,
never seen a franchise actually do something like this. And I'm like, hold my drink. The Browns exist. Okay. But what do you think about the dumpster fire
right.
of the Bills franchise and how it's kind of blowing up in everybody's face right now?
I'm glad that it's not us for once. I mean, let somebody else in the AFC control it, you know? I mean, like, I'm over all the drama being all time. So, like, yeah, let's watch. Let's sit back with our popcorn and enjoy this while we can. Because, like you said, Browns are going to be like, wait, hold up. Look what I can do.
Just a whole lot of craziness. Also, we got congratulations in order. Let me hit the applause. Let me
Yeah.
hit the applause. Congratulations are in order on Mr. Shador Sanders. Shador made the Pro Bowl. He goes in place of Drake May because, of course, Drake May cannot play in the Pro Bowl because he is playing in the Super Bowl. So, congratulations to who was not taken until the
I'm
third
excited
round
for him.
because no, not third round. Was it fifth round? Fifth round. Because people thought he was too arrogant.
Fourth round.
Congratulations, or fourth round. Sorry, excuse me. I knew it was the one in between. Congratulations. But let's move on to the final NFL story of the day. Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is salty because the NFL was negotiating, talking about who's going to be finalists for this year's Hall of Fame ballot. And they decided that Bill Belichick in his first year of eligibility was not going to be. Now, Bill Belichick, of course, is pissed because he's like, I'm the second most wins behind Don Shula. I won 6 Super Bowls with Tom Brady. Well, there's this little thing called Spygate, this other little thing called Deflategate. And those two things matter. So, Christy, what did you think about Bill Belichick being left off the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame
but
finals ballot?
I love it. Let him sit and wait it out for a little while. Like this, sweat it out, Bill. I
My thing
mean,
about it
I
is,
think he should be more concerned about.
again, StreamYard sucks because you're coming in and I can't hear. Please
I'm
continue
sorry.
what you're saying. No, continue.
No, no, no. I think it's great that he's got to wait and sit it out. Like he should be concentrating on his football team. You know, maybe he'd have a better record if he wasn't so worried about trying to get into the Hall of Fame.
My thing is, okay, so you have 6 Super Bowls, you have all these wins, but you can't do it without Tom Brady. Unfortunately, I have to give Tom Brady that credit. That fossil of a walking uh Botox face filler over there down in Miami or Tampa or Vegas, wherever
He's
the
so
hell he is, somehow, some way
he's amazing.
willed himself to
He's
6
amazing.
Super Bowls. And when he wasn't on your team, you were terrible. Look at what he's done since he hasn't had Tom Brady. He's been terrible. He's been awful. You
Yeah,
only had one
yeah.
real season of success without him, and that's because you were able to plug Matt Castle in right there and go. But what in your mind is like, you know what? I'm getting Hall of Fame, even though I have a whole cheating scandal where I was actively and you did it twice. I think people are forgetting you did it twice. You have a whole cheating scandal where you went to other you recorded other teams' walkthroughs so you get their plays, you get everything, and it was also during a season when you happened to go undefeated during the entire regular season, and then you lost in the Super Bowl because you didn't have access to that walkthrough,
Mhm.
which everybody knows. Then a couple seasons later, you get in trouble again because you're out here deflating footballs for your own benefit, and then everybody calls you out on that. Somehow everybody is like, the NFL is so terrible because they went after them for deflating footballs. No, they cheated. Like, that's why the NFL went after them. You can't deflate footballs like that. That's just, we all know that. Then 2 years later, after that, you do the Spygate stuff again and you get caught doing it in Cleveland. What in your mind is like, you know what? I did all of that, but damn it, I'm the greatest and I deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. What kind of bukkake are you thinking of? Like, what?
Once again, it's a guy.
I I
I mean, like,
I just
they don't make sense.
and then you got players coming out being like,
Yeah.
such a shame that he shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Because he cheated for so long and his cheating was so prolific that he got an undefeated season out of it. And when he
Mhm.
couldn't cheat anymore, he lost. He
Lost.
lost.
Yep.
Every time he got caught, they lost. Christy, I just
Yeah.
I'm glad he was left off of it. I think they
Well,
should continue
just like
to leave him off.
they couldn't cheat against Ohio State. They lost. Yep. I don't think if they do put him in, I think they should make him wait. Clay Matthews still ain't in there yet.
Mhm. Let's move on. We got some sports news
Alrighty.
to talk
So what else
about.
you wanna talk about today? Yeah.
Jose Ramirez restructures his contract to be a lifetime guardian till 2032. Congratulations, Jose. Restructured his contract to where he would get a whopping I think it was like $130 million over the next few years. But I've seen the whole conversation about how much money has he really left on the table because he's constantly restructuring his contract to stay with a mid. Shut up. That's what I'm telling everybody who's a chef. If only your favorite baseball players were that loyal. If only. If only you had a player that was not only as good as Jose, because Jose has constantly gotten better as he's been in the league. He's going to go down as a Hall of Famer. He's going to go down as probably Cleveland's best player of one of the best players of all time. And you're mad that that man is like, you know what? I actually like living here. I like my team. My team is pretty successful because I'm on it. I play well. Why would I leave? Hey, hey,
Yeah.
I don't get it. Then also today, MLB released a
That's why
special rank.
Miles is staying in Cleveland too.
Again, like people are like, why are these players staying? Why wouldn't they not? You make way more money here. Your money stretches here. Cost of living ain't that high. If I'm a millionaire, I would live in Ohio. Who wouldn't
Yeah.
have a beach house and then I get to come back and not have to spend money? Oh, beautiful.
So I used to come down here. I mean, but it is cold down here right now. So you'd have to go somewhere farther than where I am. Cause like it's freaking cold. It's ridiculously cold. I mean, like, look at me. I've got a knit beanie on.
You do. You do. I mean, I also have like multiple layers on, but it's also always cold
Mhm.
here. But yes, Jose Ramirez resigns with the Guardians, restructures his contract. Coco Gauff unfortunately lost in straight sets at the Australian Open. Naomi Osaka was forced to withdraw from the Australian Open due to an injury, and this came after a match in which she was criticized for just hyping herself up in between sets. And I'm gonna say this, y'all. Women can't show emotion. And it's honestly like just it pisses me off. It pisses me off. I'm sorry. A lot of things are pissing me off today, but that really pisses me off because women are always called so emotional. We're always so emotional. We lead with emotion. And in the one sport that you can be emotional, because tennis is an individual game, and the men in that sport are the most emotional people you will ever see. A woman hyping herself up
Right?
caused so much controversy. And then her opponent, who she had words with after the match, that she
Well,
actually
I wanna say hi to Nate real quick because I don't want him to get all freaked out and start having a hissy fit because we're not ignoring you, Nate. We're just talking about stuff. But go ahead. Sorry.
oh no, no, Nate, Cincinnati is not in Ohio, it's in Kentucky. I'm gonna just say that. But Naomi Osaka
It's a
was
Kentucky. Yeah.
hyping herself up pre-match, and then she got literally bashed for just hyping herself up. So, but anyway, she had to withdraw from the Australian Open. So that's happening. LeBron James is playing in his homecoming game tonight. Ironically enough, they're wearing the Navy throwbacks, which is so weird. It's gonna be so weird to watch him
Oh.
play against Navy throwbacks. Like that didn't even happen when he left the first
Yeah.
time, so it's gonna be super weird. And then last but not least, the Grizzlies owner was profiled by Pablo Torre on Pablo Torre Finds Out today, and they revealed that he is a war criminal. I'm not saying that as like a metaphor. He's legitimately a war criminal.
Supposedly.
This is confirmed.
Allegedly.
This is not allegedly. This is confirmed.
Oh,
Yeah, he owns a
oh
company
Jesus.
in which the software he helped developed while he was actually with Apple, um it was sold to a bunch of companies that make drones, and he like became like one of the youngest billionaires, became one of the youngest owners, and then some lovely people did a profile on him and was like, "Hey, all these drone strikes, where this coming from? What company was providing it?" And it comes to find out it was his company. So
Oh
he's
my God.
actually committing war
Oops.
crimes. And a lot of people are like, well, he committed more crimes and Ja getting in trouble for finger guns. But I'm like, that's a whole different thing. Ja is an idiot. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. But that's for that in sports news. I'm sorry to drop that bomb.
Yeah,
I didn't mean it
oh.
like that. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. Let's move on to some
Pun
popular
intended.
culture news. Yeah, pun intended. Some pop culture news. Um,
Hopefully
one of
we
my
can
favorite
keep it together
shows.
through this segment.
Yeah, one of my favorite shows, Ted Lasso, ironically enough, has to do with sports. Ted Lasso, the football coach who coaches soccer, is coming back this year, and this time he's going to focus on women's soccer. He's being brought back to AFC Richmond to coach their mid-tier soccer team for women. It's going to be premiering this summer. I'm going to be insufferable. It's going to be beautiful. Let's get to the real show. Christy, let's talk about these heifers.
All right, all right, all
Let's
right.
talk about them.
Yep, I was
Let's talk
messaging
about
you.
them.
I was messaging you. Yeah, it was, ah, you know, right when Andy was getting Heather to start admitting to talking about anything or doing anything, she was either interrupted from Bronwyn making her way, or not Bronwyn, but Brittany making her way back to the stage, or Lisa suddenly wanting to talk about her feelings on the boat, and Mary was this close to getting Meredith to talk. And it was like, I don't know. I mean, I know why Lisa did it. Lisa did it to, get the attention off of Meredith. But like everything else was, yeah, that was frustrating.
I left this reunion saying to myself, there is no way that Lisa and Meredith will watch this and say, we did a great job, you guys. This has been a great season for us. When I tell
Yeah.
you those two are two of the most, like, when I say, well, first of all, let's go back. So we get to the final part of this whole conversation about Brittany being a bigot. That's the start of the reunion.
Yeah.
And Meredith is
Right.
trying to double down, but I'm gonna give you your twos. I'm gonna give you your twos because you
Yes.
finally didn't fall for the bait. Yes, you didn't fall for the bait. And you kind of clocked Meredith on, well, he's like, well, she took the post down. So what is the problem? Like, why is this such a big thing? And Meredith was like, well, she still had it up. She still was doing it. And he was like, but she took it down. It's like, I could see if she didn't take it down and she didn't apologize, but she took it down and she apologized. So he finally clocked her
Right.
there. Then, of course, Lisa starts getting emotional about the boat and everything. And Andy finally gets Meredith to answer the question of, were you drinking before you got on the plane? And she says yes. And I'm like, finally.
Right.
Finally, we all knew it.
Yes,
And
she said
I
she had
was
one drink. One.
girl.
And then she started saying that, then we go into the pills. Heather
She
was doing
starts
pills and Whitney was doing pills and everybody's doing pills. And they go back to when they were telling her in a couple of seasons ago that she was coming down off of a Xanax that they gave her before she got on the plane. And it's like, so she's trying to deny that she's taking pills from these women, which, I mean, like, hello. Evidently everybody that's on TV now pops pills, but I don't know. We don't have any
it was
sponsors
the
like that.
yeah, it's okay.
But
Honestly,
trust
when
me,
they
you
started
don't wanna
talking,
have a drink with a pill like that.
no, you don't want to have it. If you are
Like,
given
that's a
any sort
disaster.
of, no, that is literally, I knew it was Ambien. I knew it was Ambien. When she said Ambien, I'm like, the way she was acting, the way that they were talking about the way she was acting, I'm like, that is clearly, she took some Ambien and
Yes.
had a glass of wine. That was so
Not
clear
even
as day what
it was
happened.
15 minutes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
I've had to be prescribed Ambiens before, like
yeah.
like and I would take one in the evening, and I wouldn't drink, and, like, I remember long time ago, so I was little, my mom and I were staying in a hotel room because we were visiting family. Anyway, long story short, she walked in and woke me up, and I was just, like, so out of it. Like, I can't imagine taking one of those pills and being woken up on an airplane or drinking alcohol on top of that's some heavy shit.
It's not even just the fact that she drank alcohol. It's the fact that the biggest problem with her is that she is not taking accountability for what she did. When they started talking about it again, and like Andy was like,
Mhm.
"Well, even Mary, who does not like Brittany, was like, Meredith, you were acting insane," and she was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And it's like, come on, like you clearly were acting insane. You're clearly having some issues. But we finally got
Mhm.
past that. We get to Bronwyn, and I felt so bad for Bronwyn. The having to rewatch the scenes with her
Oh, I
mom,
wanted to
having to
cry.
rewatch the scenes with Todd, and then her talking about the situation and her having to sit down with both her moms. So she explains when she sits down with her mom, she's like, her mom watched it and she was like, "Is this how I talk to you?" To say that to your daughter and ask it yourself, "Is this how I talk to you?" Because you don't realize how you talk to her is I was like, to me, I was like, "Ooh, that was bad." So she said that her mom kind of reflected a little bit, but then she talks about her relationship with Todd because Andy starts asking questions and Bronwyn kind of clocks that Andy's going to keep asking questions. So she says to him, "So are you going to keep asking questions about Todd?" And that leads into the conversation about them being separated. So they're not divorced, they're not getting divorced, but Bronwyn makes it very clear that they are not together. So she explains that her and Todd
Yeah.
kind of had a disagreement, and essentially he wasn't understanding of what she was where she was coming from. He's not understanding why she was being so open. He wasn't understanding of anything. So she said after they separated, Todd decided to watch the show from episode 1 to current, make a Twitter, go on Twitter, search his name up, go on
Which I
Reddit,
think is
search his
hilarious.
name up, and he found all this commentary about himself and all these different things. And Bronwyn was like, yeah, he didn't realize how he came off. And I'm just gonna say this. There is no way,
Mhm.
shape, or form that I think she should get back together with that man. I think he belittles her. I think he does not respect her. I think that he thought that
Mhm.
Bronwyn was just gonna be his trophy wife that would spend his money, that she was fun, she was quirky, she was cute, but he could do whatever he wanted to. And when she started getting some independence and she started the show and she started having friends, he didn't like it. He didn't like it because he couldn't leave her in
Yep.
Utah, ignore her, and go to New York and do whatever he wanted to. She's pushing back. So she explains that he's currently living in New York. She's in Utah. They're not together. They have love for each other, but I don't think she should get back together with him. I think she should stay away.
No, since he was isolating her and telling her that she can't talk to, friends. I mean, I get him not wanting those women to know, but, that was before he saw the show. Like, after seeing the show, I can understand him saying, "I don't want you talking to them." But, for her to be able to not feel like she can even talk to Whitney about stuff that's going on, it was so heartbreaking. And, unfortunately, there's lots of relationships out there where the men will isolate women and make them feel less than and not as smart as, and that, and of course, you're never going to be good enough for anybody else.
Mhm.
So, um, I'm glad Bronwyn has enough self awareness to get herself out of that situation. And hopefully, like you said, she stays on her own. I totally think she deserves a lot better, and I hope she's able to go out and find, like, real friends that she can have real relationships with, because she might have somewhat of a relationship with Whitney, but those aren't real friendships. Maybe Whitney and Heather are, super close and stuff, but, like, those women are not friends, like,
I would say
not the way
out
they
of the
treat each other.
cast, I would say out of the cast watching the season, I would say her only friends that I could see like her hanging out with outside of the cast, ironically enough, Mary. I could see her and Mary being close friends. Mary just seems like she's just a good time when you really get to know her. I actually could see her and Angie being good friends, because we know that they kind of made up this season and
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
wasn't as contentious as it was last season. And then I actually think her and Whitney are very much
Well,
alike.
they have a common denominator. Yeah.
Yeah. But then Whitney started making me she started irritating me because she was saying that she was in the same boat, but Justin's her best friend and she loves him so much and she cannot believe, and she walked off the stage and she was crying and she was like, "Cause I feel like how you do, Bronwyn," but wouldn't explain it. And I'm like, girl, just say you cheated and get it over with. Like, come on.
Oh, you think she did?
Well,
Whitney did?
she clear
You
well,
think she
clearly
did?
something yeah, I think she did. Clearly something happened in their marriage, but she was like, "I love Justin so much. He's my rock.
Well,
I
he
love
destroyed
him."
her company just about, you know? I mean, like, that was a big
Yes.
hit to both of them. I
Yeah.
mean, and that was her baby, and I could see where something like that being destroyed like it was and her having to buy her own company back, I could see how that would make, and that's why Andy asked, "Do you resent Justin for that?" And she said, "No, she doesn't." I could see if she did, and she was just lying about it, why she would. I mean, like, that was her business. And he stuck his nose in it. And yeah, he was just trying to help. But, you know, s- anyway, they had gone through, I think, a lot of stuff because of that. And I think that that's why she said, her and Justin are still very much in love. They are best friends. And that's why they're working so hard. And he looked like he lost some weight backstage. So I
Mhm.
got to give him props for that. But I think Whitney and Justin are going to be okay. I don't
Oh,
think that
yeah.
he takes the level that Todd does. Like, I don't see him belittling Whitney or, like, talking down to her or anything like that, and I know she wouldn't take it.
Yeah, no, Whitney and Justin are gonna stay together because they have no choice. Heather is still weird talking about, "I'm so glad to be an empty nester. I'm so happy." And then she's like,
Yeah.
"I'm so caught off guard that all of them are coming home." Girl, bye. Please, I'm begging you. You're weird for saying that about your kids. Brittany being like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited that I finally have my daughters for the first time in 6 years." Girl, red flag. Red flag. You don't take care of your children.
Yeah.
And then I wanted them to go a little bit deeper on why Olivia, her daughter, doesn't like Jared Osmond, but they won't. I don't think they should give Jared Osmond that much time, but Andy kind of touched on it.
No.
He was like, "Yeah, you brought your daughter to BravoCon, but then Jared showed up, and then she was like, yeah, my daughter really wasn't happy." And I'm like, please just explain why she wasn't happy. Like, the reason why she doesn't like
Probably
your
because she
boyfriend is
wanted
because
to
your
be with her
boyfriend
mom herself.
sucks. Yeah, boyfriend sucks.
Yeah. And
But
she wanted that time with her mom, and her mom probably didn't tell her that Jared was gonna be there,
she
I
never
mean,
does.
like, Brittany. Right. She plays flaky a lot of times, and I honestly do think she is, but I also think that she knows what she's doing when she says to her daughter, "Hey, let's go to BravoCon," and she just so happens to run into Jared there. Like, "Oh, I didn't know he was gonna be here. He must have been here because the housewives and blah, 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 uh." You know? Yeah, I can see why her daughter would be annoyed at that. I get it. We don't need to ask that, but you know what I did want them to ask and to touch on more was, shoot, it was something with Meredith. Ah, brain fart. I hate that. It was on the tip of my tongue when we first started
Was
talking
it,
about them too. Oh,
was it Meredith and Bronwyn going back and forth, and Bronwyn finally putting Meredith in her place and being like, "Girl, you use me all the time as your go-between the
oh yeah, I loved
cast."
that.
When she finally came out and was like, "You use me as your go-between, and you do it in such a
Oh,
strategic way." And she was like, "Well, you either talk
yeah,
like this off camera, or you say to me, 'Come to my room where there's no cameras,' or you text me and it's not on camera." And it's like,
production.
finally.
Right.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
What's what's the deal with production?
So, okay, so I was watching it and was listening to them. The women were getting so pissed at
Yeah.
Meredith because Meredith kept throwing production under the bus.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because they're like,
Yeah.
"Meredith,
About what?
production is the reason why we're here. They're the reason why we're able to go to Greece. They're the reason why we're able to do all this stuff." And Meredith is kind of like, "I don't care, whatever," because
Yeah.
she kept throwing them under the bus. Mary got emotional. All the women were like, "You are not like
Mhm.
great." And I was like, "There's must be something deeper that we don't know."
Yeah.
For them to be like, "Production, like these are our coworkers, we work with them.
Right.
They're
So
the
what is
reason
it?
why we're here." I'm like, "What is the problem?" And they would not explain it, and they
Mhm.
kinda just sped through it, and I'm like, "I need to know more." Now, I saw some people being like, "Why would
Oh,
Mary be
I'm
crying?"
so mad.
Mary's an emotional
Yeah.
person, and I understand why she would be crying because these are
Right.
people who she's let into her home, that she's trusted with her story and her son's story and her husband's story. So yeah, I'm gonna get a little
Yeah.
bit emotional if these
Yeah, they
people I
become
let them into my
very
life.
close with these production people.
I just
Yeah, I think it's
yeah.
ridiculous, and I wanna know exactly why Meredith was trying to steamroll them.
Yeah,
I think it's
I just
because of the fact that she was trying to do those sneaky hookups and those and she's probably trying to do them more, and then she's being caught before she can like, obviously, the thing with her in the bathtub with Lisa,
mhm.
going back to the
Oh,
Bronwyn
them talking about Brittany and saying she's an alcoholic, but
mhm,
then saying we didn't call
right.
her an alcoholic. We didn't say that. We didn't imply that. If you're saying that
Production's like, "Here it is."
if Bronwyn tells you something and then you go back to Lisa and then you two are starting to talk and says, "Yeah, that sounds like alcoholic behavior," you're calling that girl alcoholic. Stop
Yeah,
lying. Stop lying.
right?
Stop lying.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I would
just
just Nope, that's it for
this
this
I was
season.
yeah, that's what do you grade this season?
Um, man. I mean, if you would have asked me earlier on in the season, I would have said like a B minus, but I think it was a solid B plus. And I'm actually
Um
excited for Below Deck Australia to come back because they're actually going to have their side of the story, and they're coming out in February. There's so many good things coming out next month. I'm just so excited. I can't wait.
okay, I'm gonna also give this season a B. I would have given it an A, but the Meredith plane ride stuff in Greece, it really just kind of took
Yeah,
away
not
from
having
it.
that. Yeah.
If they would have not focused on that, I think it would have been an A plus season, and I think it would have been like one of the top seasons of a housewife. I think they're still getting better every year, and I'm really excited to do what excited to see what they do. They do have a little bit of a break, but I know they're probably gonna start shooting within the next like month or so because I know was it 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago when Lisa had her Bezos party.
Mhm.
Remember? It was around
Yeah,
like
it was
Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.
Day.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I know they're probably gonna start shooting soon. And I'm
Well, I
I'm
thought they
curious to
filmed before Christmas too.
they probably did. They
'Cause
probably did.
I think I remember one year, it was around Christmas time because, Jen Shaw was talking about Christmas or the holidays or something.
I'm so glad they didn't bring her up. I'm so glad. I'm so happy that they didn't bring her up. Even though she's out of jail, I'm so glad that she didn't get a sit down.
Let's
I'm so
bring it.
glad.
Yeah, let's.
Let's talk about another Real Housewives franchise, and then we're gonna move on to Trader stuff because I want to get your reaction to some things. Real Housewives of
Yeah.
Potomac airing a season finale, but not telling the audience it's a season finale, but the real season finale is also next week. The end of the episode ends with a Karen Huger, the Grand Dame, sit down. She's out of jail. She's gonna be sitting down with Andy. She's gonna be answering the questions. She's not gonna answer shit. Karen don't ever answer shit. I love her, but she don't. Um, when I tell
What
you,
was she in jail
Christy,
for?
she got a DUI. So this was her fifth DUI. They offered
Oh,
her 60 days in jail and 1 year probation, but then she was like, "No, I'm innocent. I'm going to be exonerated by the evidence." The evidence came out. She was drunk as hell. She was drunk as hell. When I say she was drunk as hell, there's a clip. I hate that I reference this, but it is so funny. She was in the back of the cop car and she just goes, "I'm lit. I'm lit." And I'm like,
oh no,
"Girl." So,
dumbass.
at the end of
But she was
last
going to be
season,
exonerated.
in her in her mind, she was fully gonna be exonerated. But the end of last season, she left the show because she was about to get sentenced, and then they sentenced her to a year in jail. But she ended up getting out early on good behavior. So yeah, she's gonna sit down. But I want to talk about them because I want to explain to you what happened to them. So they have a first year housewife. Her name is Angel. Her husband is used to be a football player named Bobby Massey. He played for the Denver Broncos. Whew,
Okay.
Angel girl. She has a outdoor events company called Wonderland. And so she books all these excursions. So like say you're in Denver or Aspen or anything like that, and you're like, "Ooh, I want to see what they have in store. So I'm going to go try to see what the vibe is." So if you want to go fly fishing,
Mhm.
if you want to go hiking, if you want to do all this stuff. So she has a company like that, and she bases her part of they take a cash trip to Colorado. So first of all, if I'm watching Real Housewives, I hate an America cash trip. I hate it, especially as the end of the season cash trip. I hate it. Nothing about it is
Uh,
good.
yeah, we
It's
saw enough
always
of those with Salt Lake City.
because Jen couldn't go
Hands
because she couldn't travel domestically. I
out of the
hate
country.
an America cash trip. First of all, number one. Number two, production is actually being blamed for this. So the ladies got put in a house that was an hour away from Angel's house. So Angel has a house in Colorado there, and production apparently put the ladies in a house that was an hour away from it. Now, one of the ladies who used to be a full-time housewife, she's a friend of the season, was like, "Hey, when you plan a trip, you give production all the stuff you want to do. They book it, but you're planning the trip. Like you're not paying for anything, but you're planning it. Now, if you go over budget, you have
Right.
to pay for stuff, but you are planning the trip. You're planning all the events, excursions, everything." When I tell you this trip, I would think, let me tell you, I've been on a lot of bad trips in my life. This trip made me say, you know what? I've never been on a bad trip. They didn't have any running water.
Mm,
Like the water at the house was intermittent and then it just got shut off. It was
that's rough.
90 degrees in the mountains. And then the person hosting the trip was an hour and a half away from them. That was day one.
Did she do that on
Day
purpose?
Everybody can be quiet. So day two, they go to Aspen on a private jet, and then she goes, "Well, look, I got y'all a private jet," and they're like, "Girl, we ain't have no running water, and you didn't check on us." And so she's like, "I'm sorry. I'm an empath. I'm really sorry." And they're like, "Girl," like they just wanted her to take some accountability. She doesn't take accountability. Then
Um,
while they're in Aspen, they actually run into Mauricio, Kyle's husband from Beverly Hills, because he's in
okay.
Aspen. So they run into him, they flirt with him, whatever. The ladies get put in the Four Seasons Hotel. This trip was 3 days. It felt like 5 years. They get put in the Four Seasons Hotel. They make sure that the other girls that are staying at the one girl's house who's hosting the trip have rooms. They leave in the middle of the night. Yes, they leave in the middle of the night to go back to that girl's house and they say, "Well, we have to get up in the morning because oh yeah, she plans an excursion for the last day and not the first day." So the excursion that she plans for the last day is for the ladies to go fly fishing, but doesn't explain that, oh, also the ladies have to leave for their flights at 5 o'clock.
Oh my god.
They get up, they get out the hotel, they're on their way to the excursion. The lady who's hosting it, Angel, goes the completely opposite way of the excursion. So she drives 3 hours the opposite way from fly fishing. The ladies are driving from their hotel downwards to go fly fishing. They get almost 2 hours into the trip and they're like, "We're still not there yet," and they still had an hour and a half left. So by the time they would have got to fly fishing, they would have only had to fly fish for like 30 minutes. Most of them didn't even want to do that. Then they would have had to speed ready, get their clothes on, and drive another 2 hours to the airport. And then
That's ridiculous.
they're in the car and she's like, "You guys, the experience is still there for you. You can go if you want to." And they're like, "Girl, why would we go and you're not there?"
I'm telling you, she planned that shit on purpose. She did not want to hang out with them. I don't know what their
Oh
deal
no.
is. I've never watched them. No, she did not want to be around them.
It was so bad. The amount of people that were like, "Girl, I this Colorado trip made me not want to go to Colorado." I was done with the trip and I was like, "You know what? Girl, never plan a trip." And it looks bad on her business because it's like your entire thing is to plan trips like this and just 3 days and you could not get it together.
Right.
3 days.
Yeah.
She couldn't get it together.
Ugh.
But let's move on. We got a traders recap. Did you finish it?
Yeah.
You know who gets banished. Do you know who gets
Sorry.
banished when I was
Well,
telling you about it?
Michael Rappaport got banished when I didn't want him to. Hi, David. And then Ron gets banished, which you didn't want to happen either. So both of us are, well, our second favorite people, because of course we both love Rob.
You love Rob. Rob is still on thin ice for me. He is doing a damn
You
good
love
job
Rob.
as a trader, but he is
Yeah, he
on
is.
thin ice for me still. But let me tell you about Ron. I love me some Ron punches. Them fuck
Yes, you
ass motherfuckers. Excuse my language.
do.
I hate
Wow,
all of them.
you're mad.
Why would you not get Lisa out? Lisa is the traitor.
Right?
Clearly the traitor.
Well, yeah. And oh,
And then you pick Ron
yeah,
and Ron goes, "Well, I've always been faithful." Clearly, that man ain't a traitor from I was so mad at them. I'm watching this
because
and
they
I'm
can't
like,
figure
"What
it
the
out.
fuck?" I'm like, "Yo,
Because
they
nobody
they're
listened
voting
to
for
Colton.
Ron and
It's
Lisa."
Colton's fault.
Oh,
It's his
Colton, I
fault.
hate him. I hate him so much. Why? They better vote his ass out next week. I better not see that man on my screen next week.
Lisa's gonna try to get him to touch her jewel. But
I need
then everybody will know that it's Lisa.
which means she can't. I just I my thing is that
It's gotta be
Rob
interesting.
also Rob voting for Lisa was the best thing that he could ever do
That
to
was
save his ass. I said, "You know what?
yes.
I will give you some props. You voting for Lisa because you're like, Ron, I almost did it, but I had to go with somebody else." And I was like, if you would have went with Colton,
Mhm.
that would have been better. But you went with Lisa, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
all
but
those
like
people who
he
voted
said,
Ron,
everybody knows that he's close with Ron and Colton. So like he had to vote Lisa in front of those people because those people would expect him to not vote for Colton or Ron.
it was just, oh my god. I I was just so mad that I was like, Ron is such a sweetheart. And then he's come out after and he was like, yeah, it was kind of one of the worst experiences of my life. He came out as autistic.
Yeah.
He was like, he had a stand-up comedy set and he was like, yeah, they told me that to come to Scotland, they're inviting me and I was going to be put in the house. And he was like, I like games. I like to play games. He's like, what they didn't tell me was they were about to put me in a house with 20 of the craziest people you will ever see. And he was talking about Michael Rappaport. He said, do you know how bad it had to be to be in a house with Michael Rappaport where he was just talking about the Knicks and Israel the whole time? And I'm like, damn. But Michael going home
Uh,
made sense because he kept
yeah.
doing things that were
Nobody
traitor
likes it.
like and nobody liked him. Ron makes no sense. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet. But
Um,
yeah,
I forget who. Well, no, it was Michael that started the Ron rumor, wasn't it?
I think so.
So who was really there to advocate against Ron in the end besides Lisa? Like
On yeah.
Colton wasn't. I mean, but obviously nobody's listening to Colton anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Colton
But yeah,
is
so Friday's gonna be interesting.
yeah, Friday's gonna be really, really interesting. So we have that. I'm gonna just go through some quick stories. Sydney Sweeney was apparently arrested, but not really arrested. It might be just a publicity stunt because she put some bras over the Hollywood sign. Brooklyn Beckham came out against his mom, Victoria Beckham, and revealed that she ruined his wedding and is trying to cut him off from so many things. It's a crazy story. It's mainly blowing up in the UK. Nobody really cares. Like it's a nepo baby and his mom. They're fighting. Kanye West came out in this, I think it was today or either yesterday, with a apology to the black community in the New York Times, not a black publication like Ebony or Essence, but the New York Times. He said that the reason why he's been going insane the last few years is because when he was in an accident 25 years ago, his frontal lobe was damaged and that caused him to get bipolar 1 and that he didn't realize all the damage he was doing but also named all the damage he did. He's very much grifting. And then last but not least, Harry Styles is under fire because he came out with a new single, he's coming out with a new album, and he does this thing every time where he gets a residency at Madison Square Garden, and a lot of people notice that his residency tickets for like not even nosebleeds, but a little bit lower than nosebleeds, are $900.
Oh, Jesus.
$900. This is more expensive than one of the most anticipated concerts of the year, which is BTS. I looked up the BTS concert tickets. They're affordable.
How much are
They're
T Swift
affordable.
tickets?
They're about the same price as him.
Yeah, see, that's ridiculous.
But like Beyonce tickets were affordable. I couldn't go just because she was nowhere near me both times and her runs were limited. But BTS tickets right now are going for as little as like $160 for nosebleeds.
It's still
That's
crazy.
that's still crazy, but like they're playing in like gigantic stadiums. They're playing at Jerry World, they're playing SoFi, they're
Yeah, so you
playing
would think that they'd
Raymond
be able to
James
make tickets more
Stadium.
affordable. I mean, like, I remember I went to a concert at Raymond James Stadium. Now, all country artists, but it was Big and Rich, Carrie Underwood, Gretchen Wilson, Dierks Bentley, and Kenny Chesney was the header. And all of them. And I think the tickets were like $75 a piece. And it was it was so hot too. It's July 1st. It was outdoors at Raymond James Stadium. Thankfully, it didn't rain on us. Great freaking concert. Unbelievable. I loved it. But yeah, concerts are way too expensive. Make them more affordable.
Yeah. Now, mind you, there was an artist. Her name is Olivia Dean. She played the same exact venue just a couple months ago, and she's relatively newer, but she was able to make some change and got some refunds for people and stop the surge pricing. But a lot of people are like Harry Styles, you're Harry Styles, but it's not even like BTS because again, BTS is playing like stadiums, like outdoor stadiums. They're gonna have a 360 stage, so that is like fully the whole stadium they're going to have access to. Harry
Right.
Styles is playing at Madison Square Garden. It's a
Yeah.
big venue, but it's not as big of a venue as a stadium. That's just not.
Yeah,
So
but
you had
evidently that's like that's like the creme de la creme of the places to perform at, like for a performing artist, from my understanding.
eh, no.
It's like the
I would
Grand Ole
say
Opry in Tennessee for the rednecks.
a little bit, but we got some other things. So our girl, we always love a Love Island update. So first of all, let me update you on Love Island All Stars. Guess who made an
I've been
appearance?
watching.
And guess so you saw that Lucinda is on there?
No, I haven't made it that far yet, thank you, but that's
I'm
alright. I
sorry.
actually read
Spoiler
something that no,
alert.
I actually read that she's on there, and I'm like, "Wait, she just won with what's his name last season, or
Yep,
All-Star Games."
Zay. She
Yeah,
literally won Love Island Games with Zay just a couple months ago. But yeah, she is back on Love Island All Star. She's already causing quite the havoc.
can't wait.
And like yeah, it's been a hot mess season,
Charlie
but it's
wasn't
been
the
great.
Charlie I was expecting. I thought it
This
was
season
Charlie
has been
from
amazing.
Love Island USA. I didn't realize it was a different Charlie.
Man, if he would have been back on I feel bad for Charlie. Charlie just needs to get off Love Island. He needs to stay away from Love Island. But in other Love Island news, our girl Alandria is making some waves at Paris Fashion Week. I can't put up the pictures
Beautiful waves.
because they're copyrighted, but she is
Gorgeous
beautiful,
waves.
gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
She
Now
looked
let's
like a
get
gold
to
wave in one of the dresses, like, did you see
yes.
the
She
short gold number?
the short gold number,
Almost
and then today she attended the Valentino show and won. And she looked like a 70s Barbie at Valentino, and then she was wearing an all red outfit at Robert one. She looks gorgeous. She looks stunning.
her body is just, like, ridiculous, like,
Just ridiculous.
yeah, she makes
She's
anything look
having
good.
she's having a run that even Molly May is like I would say the quintessential run that all the Love Island girls should like want to be on. Alandria has now taken that and run with
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Like she has somehow surpassed Serena, Janae, and Leah from last season, Molly May. Like she surpassed all these girls, and I'm so happy for her. She's just she's just amazing. She looks beautiful. She looks stunning.
yeah.
And I'm so glad that she decided to not go on Beyond the Villa because that would have been tarnishing to her brand. Like she don't need that. But let's get to the biggest story. It's gonna be our last big story that we're gonna cover before I we share what our internet obsessions are and I share what a Gen Z word. We were so
Oh,
wrong. Um the Love Island,
Love is
not Love Island,
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind cast for this season will be Ohio.
Yep.
Now, luckily, I don't know
Interesting.
any of those men. I don't know those men. I don't know not a one. So I will not be personally victimized by any of the men on the show. I do know that one of them does get married because one of my friends, her boyfriend, is friends with a sibling of someone that's on the show. So I do know that somebody does get married and they are still
Okay.
married. You told me before the show that there's already a contestant with sexual assault allegations, which doesn't surprise me because we've had this for the last, I'm pretty sure, like 4 or 5 seasons where a contestant gets announced. Here comes an allegation. And when we watch the show,
Like, how do
yeah,
they
pretty
not
true.
these people are? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I mean, they obviously have no women in there doing background checks, because if they did,
Clearly.
we would find all the dirt on every single one of them. Like, they have the wrong women in charge. So, Love is Blind people, if you're watching, um, I'm a great detective. Get, come on, hook a sister up. I love the show. I'll be your biggest cheerleader. I will find you the best talent. Let's go. Yeah, I don't want to see sexual assault, supposedly, people on my TV.
Yeah, it's bad. But I want to talk about this. Look, I'm gonna say this. All the women, I've seen all the women, gorgeous, Gorgina. They stunning. The men look like the bottom of my foot. What is going on? And then I actually was talking about it today to a coworker, and I was like, you know what? I said this season is an actual representation of what it's like to date in the state of Ohio, because you look at the women and you're like, these women are so gorgeous. And then you look at the men and you're like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, that's exactly what it feels like. That's exactly
Now,
what it feels like.
I haven't taken a close look at any of the contestants yet. I saw the quick video while I was working, so I didn't pay close attention.
Go through
But
them pictures.
could it be like that these guys are just maybe
Like they
like
don't photograph well, like they never do?
handsome, but like in, like, of course, somebody else's, not just their mom's eyes, but like, because
No.
I've watched every other season of every other country. And some of those guys that are on the other countries, I'm like, ew, ew. And then some of them, I'm like, I wouldn't look at a guy that looks like that and find them attractive, but like, hey, like, I could see that, it's a good looking dude. So none of these guys, they're no, not like that.
Christy, when I tell you, every time I look at a guy on look, I've been watching Love is Blind since its inception 6 years ago, which is crazy that
Mm,
it's only been on for 6 years, but we had 10 seasons.
yeah.
Crazy Netflix, but all right. For the last 6 years, I'm gonna say this. I don't wanna like if I'm watching Love is Blind, I don't want a guy that I'm like, clearly you're so handsome that you should be on TV and you got cast for that reason. That's not what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm
Like, you can
talking about
obviously get
yeah,
some.
I'm talking about like they're not even like casting guys that you're like, oh my god, like he's like
Right.
just
Right.
classically handsome. Like no, there when I saw these men, Christy, I told one of my friends this. We were texting. I was like, you know what? I said these men are going to be demons. I can just look at them and I just know. I just know because they have the look of a group of men that I'm just like, I just know they're gonna be hell. I know they're gonna be hell. And again, I if you're dating in the state of Ohio, I'm dating in the state of Ohio. It's rough out here for
Oh,
us.
there's a couple that look kind of cute.
Maybe one or two, if that. But it's just like disappointing. But yeah, starting February 11th, the greatest gift that Netflix can give me, for my birthday, Love is Blind season 10. Now, let's get to our internet obsessions.
Okay.
What is your current internet obsession?
I don't know if this is necessarily internet obsession, but you can only watch it on the Paramount app. So I kind of, to me that's internet, because what? What?
Is it
Go ahead.
Landman?
No. No, it's not.
Okay.
But evidently I'm being told by everybody I need to start that. No. Season 3 of School Spirits. So season 3?
Yes. Yes, it is season 3.
Okay. I watched the first episode today. Have you seen any of them yet?
Not yet.
I
How
I
many
don't wanna
episodes were
spoil.
released?
3. So
Okay.
they released the first 3 initial episodes, and then weekly they're gonna release another one. I can't remember what night it is, but, I've only watched the first episode, and I'm so glad that, of course, they do the recaps before every episode. I'm glad that I did watch the recap because I usually skip it, but, it brought me back to what was going on last season, and within the first 10 minutes, I was bawling my eyes out.
Okay.
It I love that show, and Peyton is actually, a producer on it. She's the executive producer on it now, and I can just tell that she loves this project so much, and the concept behind it, the idea is, like, so neat. Like, I love supernatural stuff anyway, but I got goosebumps right now talking about it, and I'm actually gonna go watch the second episode when we get done here. But yeah, I'm like, I'm so glad it's back. I'm loving it.
Okay, so I have two. I finished the entirety of the other K-drama I was watching called Idol Eye.
Yeah.
Beautiful, amazing, chef's kiss. I'm literally still obsessed with the first one. I watched Lovely Runner, but I have to talk about another show that I've watched. And I'm gonna say this. I am not a fan, but I do watch. I watch Baddies on Zeus Network. I do not pay for it. I watch it through a hookup, but I watch Baddies and I'm hooked. This show is so stupid and it's so ridiculous. I can't stop watching, and the girls are crazy. And ironically enough, they went to Korea this week for a music show, like a award show. But I'm obsessed with the show. I can't stop watching it. I can't stop watching it. But I did finish the second K drama. I'm planning on starting another one called Business Proposal
Okay.
because I've heard it's really good, and the guy who is the lead, handsome, very handsome,
Mm,
just very handsome. But Christy, it's time
yes,
for your Gen
me
Z
too.
phrase of the day.
Yay. Here we
Do
go.
you know what an NPC is?
NPC.
Yes.
No. Not a person of culture.
An NPC is a non-playable character. So if you
Okay.
ever play video games and you see somebody walking
Mhm.
around, or if you like, they really like reference into like Grand Theft Auto. Like you
An
go up to
extra in the
somebody,
video game.
yeah, an extra in the video game. They do the same thing, they say the same
Okay.
phrases. So when people tell you, or like Gen Z kids tell you, they're like, ah, you're acting like an NPC, they're saying that you're kind of lame. You're kind of lame. You're doing the same things over and over again. You're saying the same things over again. They're calling you lame. Okay. So if
You know
any
what
of
this
them
is making
Gen
me think of? This is so last night I got so bored because Dominic's been working overnight. I bored myself so much I broke out my Nintendo Wii.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's making me think of like the Koopa Troopas and the guys that throw the axes at you.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so again, like if you ever see someone and they're like, "Oh, you're acting like such an NPC," that means that you're doing the same things over and over again. You're just a background character. You're nothing important to the
Yeah, nobody's
story.
ever gonna
You
accuse
don't
me of
move
that.
it forward. You just exist. You just exist. Don't let
Um,
anybody call you an NPC. But Christy,
I don't think anybody ever would.
yeah, that's your Gen Z phrase. So we got
All right.
this. Then we got finger hearts. Finger hearts right here. Finger hearts. You're gonna get it. We're gonna get it, but we're gonna get it.
I
Finger
got it.
hearts.
I got it.
You talking about somebody ate. You ate that,
Yep.
which means
And you left
you
some
did
crumbs,
good. Yep.
but you
You
left some
left some
crumbs.
crumbs. But you left some
Mhm.
crumbs. And now NPC.
Which I will
But
never be.
you will never be an NPC. But Christy,
This is main character like vibe totally. Anyway, yes, we've been on for a long time. Like
have
we're trying to catch up with the boys.
really are. We really are. Guys, please tune into Inside That Network. They did such a great job today. They covered the hell out of the Browns and their
Yeah, they did.
news. Please follow Inside Edge Network on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Which, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. We love you. Thank you for support. If you're watching on Facebook, thank you. We love you. Support you. Jersey Chasers. You can find us everywhere. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. TikTok has kind of been down for the last couple days. but it's okay. It's okay. You can still find us everywhere else. You can find us wherever you get your podcast is updated weekly. Like you can do it all. You can do it all. Please continue to listen, continue to support. We love you guys. Look, also, I'm gonna tell you, there is something on Facebook. We cannot always see Facebook comments. So if you keep texting me and telling me I'm telling you some stuff in the Facebook comments, I can't see them, bro. He knows who I'm talking to when I'm saying this.
I don't have them pulled up right now either. So
we can't always see every Facebook comment.
Yeah.
So
that's weird.
I can't always see them from my point of view. Christy made me see them. It's very weird. StreamYard is crazy. But
it is. It sucks.
Sometimes it does. Once again, we also apologize for any technical difficulties we had this week. We apologize. We always will apologize. It's not our fault.
I hate talking over you all the time.
I hate it too. But we gotta go, you guys. We gotta go. We on a long time. We love you. We'll be back next week. Same time. Bye.
Maybe we'll have a new deep by then.
Maybe. You never know. You never know. We will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.